photographers Corinne Bush and John Epler. Corinne, what are we looking at today?
Hey all, so today we're
I'm not saying anything. I have not said anything. So, this person hasn't been involved in any other Dragon Age. The idea of being who you want to be carries a particular special meaning to Corinne. As a queer trans woman, I have a perspective on the games that not everyone has. Dragon Age has been a long place where LGBTQA+ folks can see people like themselves, represented respectfully. There's nothing respectful about the way you have represented anything. It's inherently very queer. I'm an advocate of you can fuck whoever you want and you can feel however you want. You can be whoever you want. It's none of my fucking business. But for you to come to my house and tell me that a game that is started as basically a political game, very, in the lines of like how Game of Thrones, like the books, are all about, everyone getting together to fight a bigger threat.
While Danny kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet and Euron's forces, they certainly haven't forgotten about her.
Yes, the game it speaks about racism, it speaks about inequality, it speaks about, sexism. It does touch on all those areas because we live in a society. But the fact that you're telling me right here it's inherently very queer. What the fuck are you talking about? And it's such a rare thing for marginalized communities to have a representation where we feel proud and powerful in how we're depicted. Like, the identity of your character means nothing. That's what fucking gets me about shit like this. It's like you just like stamp like queer on a game and make people believe like, oh, me being queer is actually a part of the story, which other games do touch on that subject and make the entire game about that. Therefore, your identity matters. In a game like this, your identity, like sexual identity, gender identity, doesn't matter at all. Because they're not gonna code people asking you in the game if you're trans or gay or lesbian. They're not gonna code that in. Because it makes no fucking sense. You know who did this very, nicely? Baldur's Gate 3. I don't think they mentioned once like, our game is super queer. Like, they just let you be whoever you want to be. You can be she, he, they. And you can romance any character regardless of their, of their gender. Which, hell yeah. Good. That's nice. You can romance whoever the fuck you want. In here, you're telling me, actually, it's very queer, the game. But at the same time, you're making every character, like, pansexual or whatever. You can romance every character, despite, like, your gender identity or your sexual identity. So you're literally just taking away, like, what makes it queer. Dorian could only be romanced by men because he was a gay character. And Sarah could only be romanced by women because she was a lesbian. And, it mattered because that's what they were. And no one batted an eyelash. And here you're saying, like, oh yeah, but we really care about, people having a, like, no, you don't, because you're basically taking their identities away from them while claiming to be a queer company. You know what I mean? Is it translating? Like, by trying to give everyone representation, you give no one representation. By trying to please every single person, you are pleasing nobody. I often get emotional when I think about what it would have meant for a younger version of myself to see someone like her in a game. You're not seeing someone like yourself in a video game. You are not. You are a trans woman, so you're gonna play as a female character. That's not you seeing yourself in a video game, because you cannot, in the character creation, type, oh, my character is non-binary, or my character is, and that matters in the story later on. No, you can't. The character that you play, you can headcanon in your head all you want. That, oh, my character is trans. And you can like write a story about it. People have done that since time immemorial. But you cannot, as the game director, tell me that you are being represented as a trans woman in the game, because I'm gonna play the game. We're gonna see if you being gay, trans, a lesbian, asexual matters at all. We're gonna see that. We only represent queer people, but we don't represent, deaf people, disabled people. Like, that doesn't matter, because that's not interesting. It's all so pick and choose at this point that it's kind of like crazy. It's like, again, you want to represent everyone, you end up representing 0 people, which is, I love that. The fact that we know more about this woman, that we know about the game itself, it's really telling. My favorite part of working at Veilguard and on Dragon Age specifically is how much we get to interact with and learn from our players and fan base. That is a lie. They literally changed the name of the game without consulting anybody. We went on, like, we had a teaser about this game for the longest time, and that's all we fucking knew about it. So that's lovely. There was a lot of communication in those years that, they basically just ghosted their audience. So that's lovely. And that's a lie. And I'm just like hearing like lies. Just lies, lies, lies. If you were listening to fans, the game as it is right now wouldn't exist. It wouldn't be Neon Power, like Power Rangers. Like, it wouldn't be that. It wouldn't be just a fucking nothing burger with no consistency. The least offensive part of the game is its inclusivity. I said what I said. That's the least jarring part of it. I don't hate the game because there's a black elf, God forbid, or an Asian elf. I don't hate the game because you can romance whoever you want regardless. I don't care. We did that already on Baldur's Gate. I hate the game, BioWare. Not because I'm a, homophobic piece of shit and racist. I hate it because it's a bad game. It's bad game design. I hate the game because I'm neon phobic. Because I'm whatever the fuck that warrior and just fighting gameplay is. I hate that. I hate it because of that. I hate the menus. I'm menu phobic. That's what I am. I don't care it because it's like, oh my god, I'm a snowflake. Like, I don't give a fuck about none of that. You can make the entire characters, like all of them black and queer. I don't give a fuck about that. But everything else surrounding the characters is a steaming pile of shit. That's what I hate about your game. I don't hate that, it's like, oh my god, everyone's queer. I don't give a fuck about that. I hate that it's not a good fucking game. So there you go. Before anyone tries to say that I'm just a hateful woman, that, I'm hateful. And I don't like queer people and I don't like, people of color. Yeah. Sure. Since I love board games, I'm just fascinated of them as a game designer because they're really crafty, still down to the fundamentals. And I love this social experience. This is words. I am fascinated by video games because I'm a game designer. And video games, they're fun and I love it. Natural, she also plays a lot of video games. Way too many. I'm especially fond of RPGs, action RPGs, and strategy games. Most recently, I've been playing Elden Ring, Fortnite, Don't At Me, Slay the Spire, and of course, another playthrough of Inquisition. That's all I need to know about who you are as a person. When I'm playing a role-playing those role-playing games, she remains unabashedly herself. Slay. I guess I play my characters like I behave in real life. Rarely mean, sometimes snarky, and always thirsty. I don't give a fuck about you. Fucking game director? Who? A woman that has never worked in. That's fine. I mean, I couldn't see any games that she's produced, so that's very, very nice to know. So I cannot find any games she has participated in. Oversees the development of products, which includes gameplay, story, and marketing materials. Ha! Okay. That's great. So your life is so boring, you put it in games to make it better. She's not even putting it in a video game. Because I can tell you right now, and someone write it down, someone put a fucking post-it, being trans or being gay or being lesbian is gonna have zero impact on the fucking story. So you're lying to people about feeling represented. No, the whole point of your character is you are the wild card. That's who you are. And you're special. And you're just like, a guy. And that makes you special. Kind of like the fucking Star Wars, like, being a nobody is my superpower. That's the entire fucking point of Rook. Rook is just a rookie, a guy that has been living their life, and all of a sudden they're like sucked into whatever this fucking shit is. That's the fucking point of your character. That is blisterly, like, that's like a blueprint of every fucking protagonist in an RPG. You know what I mean? And then you're telling people like, oh no, you can just like feel represented just because they can, since time immemorial, people can make whoever the fuck they want in RPGs. You can be. It just pisses me off. It just pisses me off because people like this think that they're inventing the fucking wheel. People I think like this think that they are the only people ever that have ever created in an RPG a character that is queer or a character that is different. Like D&D hasn't been fucking played by millions of people since so long that I cannot even fucking remember. Like, men haven't been playing as women in D&D and women as men in D&D since time fucking immemorial. And no one has batted a fucking eyelash. Like, men till this day don't play Elden Ring as fucking women. I see that more often than men playing as men in Elden Ring. It's just stupid. It's like, oh, you can be whoever. People have played whoever like they fucking want since forever. And just because you can add a pronoun that says they, them instead of like he, she, or whatever doesn't mean that you're reinventing the wheel. And you're a liar because I know for a fact that gender identity and sexual identity is gonna play there's gonna be zero dialogue of your character saying, oh, I transitioned when I was 5. Zero dialogues of that. Zero mentions of that. So you're a liar. You're lying. Just because a trans woman can play as a woman, which they can do in every single RPG ever in history, doesn't mean that they're being represented. Because guess what? They have already done that before. It just baffles me. It's crazy. I'm sorry. John started working on as a cinematic designer. Okay, so he was doing cinematics. He remained a cinematic designer. What is he now? Creative director. A cinematic designer. It's now a creative director. So he makes cinematics. And then he goes to have an input in story in this game, in Veilguard. A man that makes cinematics. I'm not trying to put him down, but it's like, what is the correlation between making cinematics and having a say in the story?
Because look at Gaga. She's the creative director of Polaroid. I like some of the Gaga songs. What the fuck does she know about cameras?
Lighthouse, your base of
And
operation.
you guys haven't seen the fucking face of this character, of the Kunari, of this Rook. He looks...
We're gonna...
What are you gonna do about... What are you gonna do?
To the dark
Now cancel me
swamps
on
of
Twitter?
Cosmic
What are you gonna do?
Wetlands. Here, the glowing light above indicates Davern's ready for us. Let's check
Am I brain dead? Am I brain dead? I feel like this game is made for people that are literally brain dead. Like they're laying down on a fucking hospital room connected to fucking machines.
Got a message.
Look at Rook. Look at Rook. Forget about the black elf. Look at the fucking player character.
A place called the Cauldron was attacked.
Look at that. I have a big forehead. Look at this. Look at this bad boy. Explain to me. Explain to me. Explain to me. Explain. This and that are not the same fucking thing. They're not even Cassins. They've tried to make them look so human. News fucking flash, Kunari are not fucking human. Also, I'll just say it. They have taken every bit of what made elves in Dragon Age interesting. You know what I love? You know what I really like? When different races look different. I'm not talking about black, white, I'm talking about literally different races. The whole thing with elves is like they have different features. They were elves. They looked different. And that has been established on the fucking... But now they just are humans with pointy ears.
Got a message. A place called the Cauldron was attacked.
Okay.
That's some sort of Grey Warden tavern.
So I cannot even... What is this? So Rook is talking and prompted by me, the player. Why is he talking? I don't want him to talk. Why is he talking? I don't want him to talk. Is he my character at all? Like, am I Rook at all? You know what I mean? Like, if like fucking cinematic just starts to play and I have zero input on what my character says, why am I playing?
So
That thing? What's your plan? Now's our chance. What we were and what we are now. His nemesis?
Fucking wardens for quite some time. It's kidnapped a bunch of other griffins.
First of all, so now there's a thing, a creature or a person called the Gloomhowler, right? And it's what? Kidnapping.
Earlier in Davrin's arc, you were introduced to his nemesis, the
Yeah, tell me more. Tell me more.
Gloomhowler, creature that's been hunting and stalking wardens for quite some time. It's kidnapped a bunch of other griffins.
I love that until this point in time, griffins were extinct. I like that. I love that. And that's been brought up in all of those, like every single Dragon Age video game. It's brought up that griffins are extinct. But they're not extinct. It's because the Gloomhowler has been kidnapping them. Also, I love that you're telling me, Davrin, who's gonna want to play? You see, again, you're fucking demographics up, because what they're doing right here is like people are like oh my god, it's a black elf. I don't want to romance a black elf. That's what they think that we say as people. It's not like that's why we hate the game, because Davrin, my boy Davrin here, not because of the UI and the only 3 options of dialogue, the most generic options of fucking dialogue, not because of that creature that they claim to be a Kunari and that I need to like believe that it's a Kunari. No, we hate Dragon Age Veilguard because there's a black guy in it. You know what I mean? But also, I love that by trying to make him more marketable, they're basically giving away his entire fucking quest. So now people are gonna know everything about him before the game is released. So why would I romance him when I can just romance any other people that I don't know their character's arc and their, nemesis and shit like that? Why would I go for him when you already show me everything that I need to know about him? He has a griffin. His nemesis is a creature called the Gloomhowler. Why would I care about him?
and he prefers the direct approach. We're going to choose a tough response and see if we can get his approval.
Thank you for telling me that. Also, I love, there's so many options, you know what I mean? There's so many options that you get fucking dizzy with the options. Like, oh my god.
Just go to the cauldron and get the griffin.
What is this? Why is he talking like this? Am I supposed to care about this fucking thing? Shut up.
Any.
I think we get the point.
I have to say that I find the Griffin adorable.
And very importantly, I know this is a question on everyone's mind. Yes, you can pet a song.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's the most important question that I had about this game. It was so important. Like, I wasn't gonna play this game if I couldn't pet the fucking Griffin. That shouldn't be there. That shouldn't exist. Oh my god.
I in particularly love when you're going against enemies. You see a San swoop down, especially if it triggers a combo between your companions.
A combo. Am I playing Tekken?
At this point, the crossroads are under assault by the other elven gods. It's a dangerous place.
Stop telling me about the story! Just tell me how it ends. Just tell me how it ends.
Which is one of my favorite classes to play. It's primarily a ranged attacker, and when we're
You don't say!
I really have to use a variety of strategies to control the battlefield.
With how many spells are you gonna do that? With 4 spells? You're gonna control a battlefield? As opposed to like the dozens of spells that you had access in Inquisition and Dragon Age 2 and Dragon Age Origins. You're just gonna control the flow of the fight with 4 fucking spells. That's what you're gonna do? Right. I'm gonna use my heavy attack as a mage.
And of course, Darkspawn are vulnerable to fire.
They have dumbed it out I just feel like they think I cannot wipe myself after I shit. You know what I mean? Like they think and to be, I drool every time that I speak or something. Because what is this?
You may notice something about the Darkspawn too, is that they look a little bit different than they have previously.
I feel like I'm being targeted. I feel like I'm being targeted personally because how are you going to say, as a creative director, that they look a little bit different? A little bit different. A little bit? A little bit different?
Yes, so the combat system in this game, the deep strategy behind it is really to...
Is a deep strategy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 abilities between 3 characters. When in every single fucking iteration of this game, 9 spells you had by level 5. Deep strategy? I don't think you know what those words mean.
The architecture around them very clearly reflects what's on the other side. We're not going to spoil and tell you exactly what's on the other side.
We're not going to spoil you. I mean...
One of the Grey Warden Quartermasters.
Rank up merchants and unlock new items.
Into the small town of Lavendel.
It's dead. It's dead. It looks dead. It's supposed... There's no... They're holding back the Darkspawn here. And people are just going la 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 around the place. This is a bastion that it's keeping away the Darkspawn. And people are just like, what is this fucking place? Dead. It's dead is what it is. Is that supposed to be Warden armor? Because if it is, bad design. Bad design. Nasty design. Yeah, no training, no militia. Just like people sitting around waiting to die. Literally. No stakes at all. Like, there's no sense of urgency or anxiety in the air. Nothing. It looks so bad. The characters look so bad. They look terrible. The facial animations look terrible.
And Flynn is a warden who you will do quests with.
That is the warden armor? It's a physician. That's the warden armor. I feel like I'm being gaslighted. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm being gaslighted. Rogue armor, mage armor, warrior armor. But you're telling me that this is Grey Warden armor.
The gods.
Look at that armor. Look at that armor. Fleet and this bitch look the same. Character design.
And try to get to this warden. We're gonna make our way through the perils of Hossberg and try to get to.
Why am I playing an MMO? Why am I playing fucking Final Fantasy 34? What is this? They're doing such a good job at keeping the Darkspawn at bay. Look at them. There's so many barricades and there's so many like ways to keep the characters and anyone from wandering into the very Darkspawn infested caves. There's so much thought put into this game.
All right.
You cannot totally just like walk into there. Not at all. There's no like guards posted. There's no like scouts and lookouts. There's no a way to like keep them out in any like no.
Talked about how the gods that are out are blighted. That probably has something to do with it, and
Can you guys stop? Can they, these people, and I say them with like, you know, a lot of love in my heart.
and we're in. You'll notice that there are blight pools. The darkspawn aren't just coming out of nowhere. The blight is spawning them again.
So they are coming out of nowhere.
Fans have asked us, where is the healing magic? Can you bring it back? And Nev in this game, happy to oblige with a.
Nev has a whole one healing spell. Ooh. Nev has like, oh my god, she's such a fucking spirit healer. She has one healing spell. Like game changing. That healing spell in a fucking potion, the same fucking thing.
As closely aligned as possible in the case.
There are zip lines in this game?
I feel like you're just here for the zip line.
What? Lavendel, some really narratively rich side quests.
I love, right? You know what I love? You know what I really, 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 really love? That you're shoving down my throat the whole plot line, the whole character arc of Davrin being, oh, he has a bond with this, he has a bond with the Griffin. He saved the Griffin. They're bonded. The Griffin only listens to him. Only. And he's not even in the party. And you can summon the Griffin. The only thing that makes Davrin special is the Griffin. And when he's not here, you can use the Griffin, so.
It's being narratively relevant.
Learn how to fucking speak before you make a fucking video game. You fucking idiots. Learn how to fucking enunciate your fucking words and how to read from a script. You fucking dumbasses.
Of the environment to your advantage.
Shut up. Shut up. You guys want to be Baldur's Gate 3 so bad. You want to be Baldur's Gate 3 so bad. And you have just dumbed down and watered down the fucking gameplay to a point where it's just a mobile game. And you're gonna make me pay like what, 60, 70 bucks for this game? I love what they've done with my favorite game, with my favorite franchise of all time. I really like it. I really love it. It brings me joy to know, you know, that this is how the story ends.
I'm really focused on using necromantic energies to siphon life force. But if I, for instance, wanted to go...
Yeah, because it makes sense. It makes sense that, you know, you are using necromancy on undead creatures to siphon their life forces away. Because they have life force. I mean, they're dead, but, you know, that makes sense. I love all the options I have for this game. Oh my god. I love all the possibilities. All the, you know, opportunities that I have to actually learn more about my environment and my companions. I love it. It's so well done.
We won't find out standing around here.
Be ready for anything.
Where's Harden? It's almost I'll remind you, right? The companions for this rogue are Hardin and Neve. But in the cutscenes,
We won't find out standing around here.
I cannot help but notice that she's not here. It's almost like the game expects you to bring the companion whose companion quest you're doing with you. Call me crazy.
What I love about the tactical layer of combat.
It's not tactical. You know what was tactical? The tactical camera that we had in Inquisition? That's tactical, where you could literally choose, like, switch between companions and characters and choose what they were gonna do, to whom they were gonna do it, and when they were gonna do it. That's tactical. Pressing and smashing fucking buttons, it's not tactical gameplay. You stupid fucking piece of shit. I don't like you. Also, I cannot help but see that they apply the blighted debuff on you. I will repeat it. They apply the blighted debuff on you. It's not like the blight, it's literally life-threatening and ending. And the only way to get out of it for roughly 30 more years of life, it's becoming a Grey Warden. No, now the blight is a debuff. It's a status effect.
Yeah, the combat encounters can get pretty intense. You end up fighting a lot of different enemies. You can absolutely die if you're not careful.
Yeah. So we're actually going to use...
You have a revive feature. MMO. It's an online MMO. So they're just gonna, what they're saying is, if you guys didn't hear it, it's they're gonna continue to spoil the game throughout the month of September. So by the time that the October 31st comes around, you know everything, every single detail about this game. Because it's the only way they can sell it. Because people like me have been complaining that the game is shit, they feel threatened and they feel defensive about it. And they have to come out with 22 fucking minutes of them being like, no, it isn't. The companions are interesting and we'll show you that by spoiling the entire fucking companion quest of this companion. And the story is still interesting and we'll tell you that by spoiling the entire fucking story. And the combat is fine. And we'll show you that by just like having a fucking 50-year-old playing the game and nailing down the fucking concept of this game fucking sucks. It sucks. Try harder to make me, use the entire fucking month of September, every single day of September, and release games, videos of the game every single day. So you can change my mind. I don't think it's gonna happen.
What you know about going down on some meat? Giving brain don't come, cause it's gonna get on my teeth. He been jerking too fast, told him jerk it in slow motion, yeah. I feel like my ass is wetter than the ocean, yeah.